Yes. All right. And a good Friday morning to you. Thank you for joining me on this Friday. It's the end of the work week, Monday to Friday work week. I know some people work weekends, so it doesn't fit everybody. But I figured we can end the work week with some quotes to help us prepare for the future. Not necessarily just for Monday, but for life beyond today. Life beyond today. Personal development quotes to help you invest in yourself from success.com. A great list. I wouldn't be surprised if I've done this list before, but let's see what the me of today thinks of these quotes today. Why does that matter? Because the person I was yesterday, the person I was days ago, the person I was years ago is a different person than I am today. Same thing with you. The person you are today, the person you'll wake up as tomorrow is completely different than the person you were in high school, the person you were in college, the person you were, before a failed relationship or before a successful relationship. So let's see what these personal development quotes to help you invest in yourself bring to us today. The importance of personal development can't be overstated, the article starts. It's a secret to separating yourself from the pack, the bridge that carries you towards the goals you have yet to reach. We spend a ton of time investing in things that numb us. Ready for this? I'm going to go back just so you can realize how important this sentence is. We spend a ton of time investing in things that numb us to the reality of how short life is. Yeah, think about that. Things like scrolling the internet for hours on end, doom scrolling, or watching TV to the point of restlessness, where even the TV's asking you, are you still watching? Entertainment is fun, but how much time do we save for ourselves? How often do we set aside dedicated time for personal development, where we're learning and growing in a way that defines our existence, not just being there like a lump or on a stump? To be well rounded, find some time to invest in yourself. There's some motivating quotes that are a great way to start thinking about who you want to become. It's a journey. You're not who you are supposed to be. Even if you think, I've got it all figured out, I am who I'm supposed to be, life happens. Life keeps going. Time keeps going, and you eventually evolve into someone else, someone better, usually, because, circumstances make you adapt, right? And if you take charge of that and start developing yourself personally, you're going to be able to adapt in a way that is beneficial to you and help you become the person you want to become. So, again, quotes that are a great way to start thinking about who you want to become. Okay? So, here we go. Who you want to become. That's awesome. All right. First one, income seldom exceeds personal development. Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn has some phenomenal teaching, has some phenomenal quotes, and this one's no slouch. This is a good one. Income seldom exceeds personal development. I'm not making as much as I'd like to make. I'm not making. I'm not where I am supposed to be, or I feel I'm supposed to be at this point in my life. What am I lacking? What kind of growth do I need to focus on to help bring my income to a level that is more beneficial to me and my family and future generations of my family that I'll never meet? Income seldom exceeds personal development. Jim Rohn. Excuse me. Number two. Number two is from Norman Mailer. Every moment of one's existence, one is growing into more or retreating into less. Where are we on that path? First off, every single moment we're alive is a chance of rebirth, right? So combine that, that's my quote, combine that with Norman Mailer's quote, every moment of one's existence, one is growing into more or retreating into less. Are we stuck somewhere where our growth is being stunted or we're shrinking back, retreating into less, you need to ask yourself that, okay? So, again, great quote by Norman Mailer. Every moment of one's existence, one is growing into more or retreating into less. Number 3, Henry David Thoreau. You cannot dream yourself into a character. You must hammer and forge yourself into one. Shape yourself into the person you want to become. No one's going to do it for you. You can tell yourself, I want to be a successful person. I want to be a confident speaker. I want to be a great inspirational leader. No one is going to make you into that without you forging yourself into what you want to become. Forging yourself by beating out the negativity in yourself, so to metaphorically, right? And strengthening the things that are going to help you achieve that, or going to help you reach the goal you want to reach and become the person you want to be. You have to do that. You have to forge yourself, even through trial and error. Failure is not failure if you learn something from it. Now it's a lesson, right? So you cannot dream yourself into a character. You must hammer and forge yourself into one. What does that mean? You have to take action to become who or what you want to become. Henry David Thoreau. You cannot dream yourself into a character. You must hammer and forge yourself one. All right. Number 4, Morihei Ueshiba, the founder of Aikido. Aikido means the way of unifying with life energy, harmonious spirit, basically. And Sensei says, because I studied Aikido for years, Sensei says, life is growth. If we stop growing technically and spiritually, we're as good as dead. When something stops growing, stops seeking new avenues of growth, especially for human beings, when we're talking about the maelstrom, I love that word, that's going on inside our heads, our personalities, our lives, if we don't get a grip of it, get a grasp of it, and say, hang on, that's not what I want in my life. I want to become this, and then focus on growth in that direction. Make a goal, make it clear, visualize it, take action towards that goal, and get there. Life is growth. If we stop growing, technically and spiritually, we're as good as dead. Now, Sensei Ueshiba may be talking about Aikido when he talks about technically, right? Because in Aikido, there's countless moves, right, so to speak, and each one has subtle moves within it. It's a beautiful art. That may be what he's talking about, but technically, now in 2021, I mean, that could even mean technologically in some ways, because if we're kind of stuck in a decade of the past, even a year in the past, a month in the past, and we're not growing, we're as good as dead. If you're developing yourself as a person, if you're developing yourself as a business owner, as a business leader, as a speaker, as a consultant, life is growth. If we stop growing technically and spiritually, we are as good as dead. Morihei Ueshiba, founder of Aikido. Number 5, personal development is a major time saver, says Brian Tracy. The better you become, the less time it takes you to achieve your goals. Beautiful. I imagine in situations like this, obviously it has to do with pretty much anything, right? Personal development. But I imagine in situations like this, people like who I've been completely and incredibly impressed by, just people of skill, laborers, bricklayers, plumbers, carpenters, chefs, athletes. The better you become, the less time it takes you to achieve your goals. You witness the level of skill, which translates into who knows how long in personal development to get to that point, because you can't compare yourself to a LeBron James or Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant at their peak when you just start dribbling a basketball for the first time, right? They had to pick it up for the first time as well. Eventually they got to where they were going to get. through personal development. Personal development is a major time saver. The better you become, the less time it takes you to achieve your goals. Brian Tracy, great quote. Ralph Waldo Emerson. The only person you are destined to become is a person you decide to be. Wow. Okay. So I've decided to be a person who whiles away the hours, wastes the day by doing nothing, by doing a lot of insignificant somethings. You're doing something, but is it significant? Is it contributing to your growth? That's what we have to ask ourselves, right? So the only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. Ralph Waldo Emerson. So what kind of person have you decided to be? What kind of person have you decided to become? Life ends. Life ends. We don't know when. Most of us know our birthday. We don't know when our expiration date is, right? We don't know when we're going to pass away. Shuffle off this mortal coil. We don't know. What are you doing between those 2 points to become the person you decide to be? That's why we're talking personal growth today. Ralph Waldo Emerson, the only person you're destined to become, destiny, is the person you decision to be. Action, right? Next, quote by B.R. Ambedkar. Man's life is independent, and by man we mean humanity, right? Man's life is independent. He is born not for the development of the society alone, but for the development of his self. Okay, so if we are developing ourselves in a specific way, positive or negative, to become a contributing member of society or a detraction to what society is, we are affecting society in general, in some way, shape, or form. In some way, shape, or form, who we are, who we decide to be, and who we become affects society in a way, affects society in a manner. We're independent. It says man's life is independent. He's born not for the development of the society alone. That's a very specific choice of words. He is born not for the development of the society alone. That word right there is a caveat, right? If you take that word out, if you take the word alone out, it says, man's life is independent. He is born not for the development of the society. That's saying something. It says we're not born for that. But by adding the word alone to the end of that sentence, he is born not for the development of the society alone means we are born for the development of the society, but there's more. And that more is us, personal development. It says man's life is independent. He is born not for the development of the society alone, but for the development of his self. And if you want to be a contributing member of society, whether it's your family, your interpersonal relationships, however intimate they may be, the community at large, your state, your country, or the world society, you decide what your impact and what your contribution to that is going to be. That is your decision. Man's life is independent. He is born not for the development of the society alone, but for the development of his self. B.R. Ambedkar. Great quote. I'd never heard of that. Great quote. Pat Summitt. Change equals self-improvement. Push yourself to places you haven't been before. Yeah. When I'm asked to do stuff I haven't done before, there's an occasional moment that I go, no, I can't. But then I just say, why not? There's been so many things that I've done in my life that have changed me for the better, or at least given me some sort of experience because I said, why not? That's those two words are absolutely valuable, and I highly recommend the use of those two words. Why not? In a positive way, right? Not, something criminal. Change equals self-improvement. That could actually be reversed, right? Self-improvement equals change. Push yourself to places you haven't been before. Pat Summitt, great quote. Ernest Hemingway, there's nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility is being superior to your former self. Wow. I like that quote a lot. That is, I love how wordsmiths, people with a unique insight into life, string together words that we all are at least familiar with, if not very familiar with, and create a thought that is so impactful and valuable and beautiful. There's nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility is being superior to your former self. I want to be better than I was. What was that quote? Was it the movie As Good as It Gets or something? You make me want to be a better man. You yourself want to make yourself want to be a better person, I think. And having that inside you, that desire to become a better person than who you were before, is crucial in personal development. There's nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility is being superior to your former self. Ernest Hemingway. Great stuff. The article is 15 personal development quotes to help you invest in yourself, off of success.com. And the link, I forgot to post the link in the comment section, so you can check it out. It's got some great quotes on here. Let me put that on there. Okay, so it's in the comment section. Next one is from John Maxwell, phenomenal coach, Coach Maxwell, John C. Maxwell. Excellent books. I highly recommend John Maxwell. Growth is the greatest separator between those who succeed and those who do not. When I see a person beginning to separate themselves from the pack, it's almost always due to personal growth. Now, there is innate talent in many people, a skill, an ability that they just have naturally. Some people are phenomenal speakers. I love phenomenal storytellers. I remember listening to this one gentleman who was telling this story, and it was a simple story, an interaction he had with somebody, but he was just saying it so beautifully that I was like, how can I replicate that? And I'm just not naturally that good a storyteller as this person was. And I keep thinking back, that's how much it impacted me, that one conversation. I keep thinking back on his ability, and I love it. I love things like that. John Maxwell, growth is the greatest separator between those who succeed and those who do not. When I see a person beginning to separate themselves from the pack, it's almost always due to personal growth. Great quote. Dennis Waitley says, personal development is a belief that you are worth the effort, time, and energy needed to develop yourself. I shouldn't have stopped at effort, by the way. That was a comma. It wasn't a period. So let me read it again the way it's supposed to be read. Personal development is the belief that you are worth the effort, time, and energy needed to develop yourself. Are you worth the effort, time, and energy needed to develop yourself? Are you worth that investment? Do you believe that you are worth the investment of time, effort, and energy? Effort, time, and energy is what it says. Do you believe that? Do you believe you're worth it? That's personal development. Personal development is the belief that you are worth it. So you can stop right there. It's not what it says, though. It expands on that. Personal development is the belief that you are worth the effort, time, and energy needed to develop yourself. You're worth it. Dennis Waitley, great quote. Stephen Covey, be patient with yourself. Self-growth is tender. It's holy ground. There is no greater investment. There's no greater investment than self-growth, personal development. Be patient with yourself. Sometimes we feel that if we don't get to a certain degree, a certain level, a certain goal within a certain time frame, that we're failing. That's not true. That's not true. As long as you are making the investment of time, energy, right? What we were talking about earlier. Time, effort, and energy. As long as you're making the investment, you are growing. It's like trying to force a seed to sprout. You cannot force open the petals of a flower, a wise man once said. Be patient with yourself. Self-growth is tender. It's holy ground. There's no greater investment. Stephen Covey, another great quote. This article is filled with phenomenal quotes. Again, the link is in the comments section. I highly recommend it. Check it out. Abraham Maslow. One can choose to go back towards safety or forward towards growth. Growth must be chosen again and again. Fear must be overcome again and again. Do you have fear in your journey of growth? Of course. Why? Because we are stepping out of our comfort zone. We're taking that step where we can't see where we're going. And this is faith. This is all faith. I got to believe in myself. Overcome the fear. I got to grow. I got to choose it. Abraham Maslow. One can choose to go back toward safety or forward toward growth. Growth must be chosen again and again. Fear must be overcome again and again. Very nice. Robin Sharma. Investing in yourself is the best investment you will ever make. It will not only improve your life, it will improve the lives of all those around you. Okay. Are we necessarily talking about your family? Are we necessarily talking about your most intimate circle? No. Because as we invest in ourselves, personal growth, to become better people, to become the person we want to become, not only are we improving ourselves, we're improving society in general. We are adding into the plus column, into the positive side of the ledger. That's what we're doing. So this quote by Robin Sharma makes perfect sense. Investing in yourself is the best investment you will ever make. It will not only improve your life, it will improve the lives of all those around you. Robin Sharma. Last quote for today. And thank you, by the way, for sticking through this entire video. I appreciate it. Lou Holtz. In this world, you're either growing or you're dying. So get in motion and grow. Simple, to the point. That was like a bologna sandwich. Bread, bologna, bread. Let's go. In this world, you're either growing or you're dying. So get in motion and grow. So, what does that mean? Do you want to grow? Do you want to not grow? If you want to grow, take action. That's all I mean. That's all I take it to mean. And by taking action, you grow. By taking action, you're improving yourself, becoming or coming closer to the person you want to be and becoming a better person by that growth. How about that? Great personal development quotes to help you invest in yourself, to start off your Friday, to kick off the weekend, to kick off the first day in the rest of your life. I hope you're enjoying these videos. I do them Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The only time I didn't do them was when we had that freeze last weekend. I skipped like 2 days. But I do this to encourage you to keep an eye on growth, on becoming someone who's something you want to become that is better than who you are now. That's it. That's the only reason I'm doing these. Now, half of that is pointed directly at me. A lot of this I do is directly me. How can I grow? How can I become a better person? How can I contribute more to my family, to my community, to society? How can I do and be better? How can I contribute to make it better? That's why I do these. So if it helps you in any way, shape, or form, I thank you. Click the like, share it so you can have other people listen to these talks and help them. You never know. You never know that by clicking share that one time, you may affect somebody's life in such a positive way that you'll never know right? But it's going to affect you in some way, shape, or form. Because if we help somebody else become better, society becomes better. Ultimately, we benefit from that as well. It's a little selfish, right? We want society to be better. Let's help other people be better too, right? So let's do it together. So remember, knowledge is power, imagination is king, and intelligence your weapon. Read a good book today, enrich your mind. Take action, right? Take action and believe in yourself. So thank you for watching today. Thank you for supporting my Facebook lives. And I'm going to put this up on my YouTube channel. Look for Algaeman1, ALGAEMAN1, the number 1. That's where I have all these videos, and subscribe. That way you can share this message, share these videos, enrich someone else's life, and hopefully make society a better place. I thank you. Thank you for being here. Every single moment we're alive is a chance at rebirth. Who are you going to be reborn into in this life while you're still living it? Be reborn while you're still living it. So that'll do it for today. Hope you have a wonderful day. Until the next time we get together through this medium, we'll be talking.